Find A inverse and B inverse given matrices A and B. So there are two methods of solving this. One, you can find A inverse and B inverse, and then you can multiply. So that would mean 3 steps. So finding A inverse is first step, finding B inverse is second step, finding the product of A inverse and B inverse is the third step. So the other way of solving it is you have this formula AB the whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. If you read, I mean, if you reverse the order, it becomes A inverse into B inverse, which means the product should have been BA the whole inverse. So now that I told you this involves 3 steps, let's look at how many steps are involved in BA the whole inverse. So if we were to find BA the whole inverse, we have to first take the product of B into A. That's the same as taking a product here. So which means a product step and product step. There are parallelly one step in each case. So BA, this is one step, and finding the inverse of BA, that is one more step, which means the question ends here. So there are 3 steps here and there are only 2 steps here. So if you want to cut down on the number of steps and if you want to cut down on the time taken, so you can definitely prefer the second method. I'm going to solve this question in both the methods. Okay. So first one is A matrix is this. What will be A inverse? So we know that A inverse is 1 divided by determinant of A into adjoint of A. Since it's a 2 by 2 matrix, finding the adjoint of the matrix is very easy. So determinant of A would be equal to minus 4 into 2. So that's minus 8 minus 11. Minus 11. And the adjoint of A is equal to, you just have to reverse the diagonal elements. So it becomes minus 4 and 2. This becomes minus 3. The non-diagonal elements are added with a minus sign. So it becomes minus 3 and minus 1. So we have A inverse ready. So A inverse is equal to minus 1 by 11 into minus 4, minus 3, minus 1 and 2. So B inverse is equal to 1 divided by determinant of B into adjoint of B. So determinant of B is equal to 1 into 3 minus 1 into 2. So that's just 1. So adjoint of B is equal to, again it's a 2 by 2 matrix. You just have reverse the interchange the diagonal elements. So that becomes 3 and 1. Negative of the non-diagonal elements, so that's 2, and then this would be 1. So now we have B inverse 1 divided by 1, and then this would be 3, 2, 1 and 1. So we have A inverse and we have B inverse, and I'm going to multiply it in the order specified in the question. So A inverse into B inverse would be 11 into minus 4. So what we can do is, can we take this minus to every term inside? So this becomes 4, this becomes 3, 1 and minus 2. So B inverse would be, this is just 1. So 3, 2, 1 and 1. So that is equal to 1 by 11. 4 into 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. 4 into 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 1 into 3 minus 2 is 1. And then 1 into 2 minus 2 is 0. So the product, the required product of A inverse into B inverse is equal to 15 by 11. And then 1 by 11 into 11 is 1. And then 1 by 11, the final element is 0. Now, it has taken us so many steps to arrive at this answer. So we'll have a check at the other step I told you. So the other step would be, or the other method would be finding BA first and then taking inverse of it. So first I'm going to multiply in this order, B into A. So that should be 1 minus 2 minus 1 and 3 first, and then 2, 3, 1 and minus 4. So that should be equal to 1 into 2 minus 2. So the first element is 0. 1 into 3 minus of minus, so this becomes plus 8, so 11. Next is minus 2 plus 3 is 1. Minus 3 minus 12 is minus 15. So this is BA matrix. So we need to find out the inverse of it. That's the answer. So we know that the inverse of any matrix is the the reciprocal of its determinant multiplied by its adjoint. So we need to find the determinant of BA matrix, which is equal to minus 15 to 0 is 0 minus 11. So determinant is ready. Adjoint do we have? So adjoint is again, it's a 2 by 2 matrix. All that you have to do is adjoint is equal to interchange the diagonal elements and then add a negative sign to the non-diagonal elements. So now that we have found out adjoint and we have found out the determinant, so BA, the whole inverse, what was asked in the question. So A inverse into B inverse, which is equal to BA inverse. So that is equal to minus 1 by 11 into minus 15 minus 11 and then minus 1 and 0. If you take the minus 1 by 11 into every term, you get this answer. So clearly, the second method where we use this property of inverses, so that method is more time efficient. It also gives us the answer in lesser number of steps. So you can also multiply this minus 1 by 11 to arrive at the final answer.